I'm sitting here with John Montgomery, who's the COO of GroupM Interaction, which is the digital division of GroupM. GroupM is a company that aggregates all of WPP's clients' budgets to achieve the maximum effect. I know you're involved with WPP's trading desk and creating data strategies that are starting to help get those kinds of efficiencies. Is that a big part of the contributor to bottom line of GroupM Interactions clients?
It's growing. I think it's a very exciting new space. We probably spend around about 25 or 30% of our clients' budgets in the audience buying space, but it's something that we see as a big growth area for us as we learn more about automation in the area.
I know your company was an early mover in using data in this way and data automation, and you have the 24/7 network under the same roof, which means you're in it and you're experiencing it and you're understanding it. Does it feel at all like you're competing with media sellers? Do you get that back from the marketplace ever?
Yes, but honestly, no. They are the content creators, and really, what we're there about. There's a wealth of inventory out there, and what we're really trying to do is match up the right audience to the right inventory, and we're using technology to do that. So I think that there's a fantastic win-win opportunity for media owners in the audience buying space. And we're going to say, sell us your inventory. We'll pay you more for your inventory than you get than you'll get from the ad exchanges, because we can add more value to it and integrate it with our brand strategy.
So, heavy use of data and technologies and cookies in online advertising campaigns, of course, has attracted the attention of the FTC. And I know, John, that you've been very early to the party in embracing industry self-regulation. You were actually appointed chairman of the 4A's Privacy Committee. Mm-hmm. Can you talk about where is the industry with this at this point? Are we getting there? Is education where it needs to be?
So two things. I think firstly, we're serving more than 50 billion impressions a month with the icon on it. I think it's a fantastic first step. The fact that the DAA has managed to get 2,500 separate bodies, many of them competing with each other, to all point in the same direction, I think is frankly a miracle. But from a consumer education point of view, there's still a lot for us to do. The DAA and an agency, I'm not quite sure if I'm allowed to tell you which one yet, have developed a consumer education campaign that will be breaking in December to tell consumers more about the value of behavioral advertising or advertising based on choices, and that will pull through, and I think that will allow consumers to understand the space a whole bunch better. But I think it's a good first start. There really is no reason for clients not to jump in and support self-regulation, because even if there is regulation, there's likely to be a safe harbor for those clients that have adopted the self-regulation. So it just seems like a good idea all around.
Oh, it's definitely a good idea. So automation is in its, infancy, would you say? It certainly progressed, and we're more mature as an industry in managing data and campaign automation than we were, just a couple of years ago. Do you envision this becoming a majority of budget, or, something where the technologists are running the show eventually?
It's just interesting. I read a really interesting statistic the other day. 90% of all the data that exists in the whole world was created in the last 24 months. So your point that are we in our infancy? We probably are. But from an advertising technology point of view, there's a great deal that we've learned over the last few years. I think that buying and planning implementation will become more automated, and probably the majority of it will be automated. But the insights that we gain and the consumer behavior that we learn from those insights and the relationships we build with consumers as a result of that, of the insights from that data, is all still people driven. And the way I see it is I think that the automation will make us more efficient, and it'll free up a great deal more time for us to spend on garnering insights and getting better data into the technology from the start?
That's a good answer. So it's kind of a wait and see thing a bit. WPP and GroupM are known as one of the biggest TV buyers, if not the biggest, I'm not sure. Is GroupM Interaction going to get involved with the TV buy?
You know, we started integrating television and video some time ago, and I think already our full episode play is bought a lot like television. I think a great deal of video will not be bought like television. It'll look more like audience buying, because that will be the reach extension. So I think that there really is an integration between the two. And as television becomes digitized, we'll be able to get better and better data from it, and we'll be able to run cookies on television, and smart TVs and gesture-based and voice-based television viewing and interaction will become. So I think that the way we interact with the web on our televisions with smart TVs, and Apple's Genius television coming along and Microsoft's TV coming along, linked to Kinect, that's really the hardware will drive a lot of the exciting sophistication going forward.
What about mobile? Is your group playing a central role in mobile, or is that just too disparate at this point in time?
No, absolutely. We have a great mobile company called Jewel. Its focus is entirely mobile. And you know, if we were doing our mobile strategy about 2 years ago, and the majority of our clients, we segmented them into three buckets. The first bucket we called Lunch and Learns, which were those clients who were very interested in mobile but weren't ready to engage with it yet. So they said, come and do a presentation to us and tell us about the excitement of mobile. And if you think of it as a funnel, probably more of them of those were at the top of the funnel. Next down the funnel were the test, experiment, and learn segment, where they were taking maybe $20,000 or $30,000 and experimenting on a campaign. And the small number of our clients were in the third bucket, which were those who are fully engaged in mobile, had created mobile landing pages, were doing mobile e-commerce perhaps, building relationships with consumers. Mobile was fully integrated into the strategy, part of every single campaign. Well, that funnel has turned upside down. We have very few requests for lunch and learns. Still a number of people wanting to experiment, but a lot of people engaged now. I don't think that there's a single campaign that doesn't have a mobile component to it. Maybe not as integrated into the strategic process as we would like it to be, but I would say now the majority of our clients have integrated mobile into their total digital strategy. So it's a very, very exciting place.
It is an exciting place. Is that, when you look out at 2012, is that one of the things you're excited about?
Yeah, you know, when I kind of thought about what we were excited about next year, there's no one single thing that says, I think it's largely an evolution of a whole bunch of things about data and managing the data deluge and making more of social. So beyond likes and fans, how can we truly engage with social audiences, and how do we take television into the video space and mobile together, and then how do we integrate those? Because a consumer doesn't wake up in the morning and say, I'm going to be mobile today. We have to integrate that into the total strategy.
Yes,
so there's tons to do, but it's not one single thing. It's just kind of the integration of those things that is making me very excited.
I know you've been in the digital space for quite some time. You probably, at least at some point in your life, have been an evangelist. I know I was. Mm-hmm. Do you still consider yourself to be an evangelist, or are you, there's just so much that has to be done, you're just managing it and making it happen?
No, I absolutely the evangelist side of it. I think that there's always something new to evangelize, and it was audience buying this year, and we really had to get clients to understand the value of audience buying, and they now get it, and there are always new things to evangelize about. The one thing that I wish that clients would understand immediately is the potential branding value that the web has for their products and for their brands. So the way social and video is allowing branded advertisers to start advertising in online products and online platforms in a much, much greater way than they were before, because it really has amazing value to add.
That's cool. Well, it's great to get the update on what's going on with GroupM Interaction, and it sounds like it's definitely one of those companies to watch. Actually, the one other thing I wanted to ask you was you just had your big client summit.
Yeah.
And I was curious to know, I know a lot of vendors participated in it because I heard about it from them, but what was the big takeaway from that event?
Our clients love the digital space. They want to learn about the digital space. I think that we can tell them what's happening in vendor land, but it's much more exciting for them to hear, to go across to the West Coast and hear see what's under the hood, see what the latest innovations are from media owners, and it really was to teach them about the new and exciting things that are happening on the digital platform. And it's always nicer to hear it from Mike Zuckerberg than it is to hear it from John Montgomery.
Yeah, that sounds really exciting. Well, thanks for joining me here tonight, and I look forward to having a drink inside.
Fantastic.